I want to introduce Johan next, who's coming up to present for us. I met these guys roughly maybe 2 years ago at a different mastermind event. Saw they were wicked smart and were doing some really clever stuff, not just in technology front, but on the business side, as far as like with a real track record of building businesses, doing amazing joint ventures, exiting businesses, and then always what's next, like always on the bleeding edge of things. And that's why I asked them, would they mind coming along, joining us, and then sharing. So this is like lessons in scale and exits. Welcome, Johan.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, can you hear me? I'm a bit of a soft talker, so most people say, hey, speak up. If I'm speaking too softly, just go, speak up. We all good? All right, thank you. So, I'm going to start off by sharing a bit of my journey. The reason for that is so you can see how the mind works and project forward, basically. So back in 2004, I started my first business. It was on eBay. So I was doing my PhD in secondary biofuels and climate change, absolutely nothing to do with what we do right now. Realized a scientist doesn't make money. So went to Google and typed in make money online. eBay was the thing, just like Amazon is these days. So I started an eBay business. Soon after that, I realized, hey, there's more money to be made in driving traffic. So I became an affiliate. And so I learned how to do affiliate marketing. Anybody have affiliate programs? Yeah? Awesome. Cool. Then we went into affiliate marketing, evolved into CPA, cost per acquisition. So for Westpac Bank, ANZ, all the banks, we used to drive leads to them and get paid for that. So that was really cool because back then Google was really cheap. I'd go and buy Commonwealth Bank credit card application. My ad would be up there. It would cost me $6. And as soon as somebody clicked, filled it out, we'd get paid $200. So it was like printing money. So that's the CPA part. Then I had the great idea to build a digital agency. And it's called My Alliance. It was the stupidest decision I made. But the people who have run digital agencies, you know the stress that comes with that, right? Anyway, but it was great because it evolved into something great. So My Alliance, we ended up having 100 employees. How I built that, I was really good at building websites. And so I said, I just want to build websites all day long. And so I went to the other agencies in Melbourne and said, hey, can I build websites for you? They're like, dude, you're a competitor. Why would I send you? I go, my systems are better, the product is better, and I'm going to build it faster. Try one for free. And so now I had 36 agencies who would send us work every day. And so that's how we built our team to 100 people. So that company, all we did was build websites all day long. And it comes into joint ventures in a second. 2012, I moved into a building in Melbourne. Does anybody know Freshwater Place? Yeah? No? Anyway, right next to the Crown Casino, there's this big building. When I moved in, they said, hey, this is the best building in Melbourne. Great. And then I get a piece of paper under my door, and it said, the windows are getting cleaned today. I said, okay, that's interesting. And then I get another one, and it says, the gym is out of order that evening. I said, okay, that's interesting. Anyway, the next day, I get another one saying, the pool is out of order. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like a full A4 with just one sentence on there. So I said to a month goes by, I've been there for a month, and I've got an inch of paper sitting on the table. So I take it, I go to the building manager and I say, hey, how much is this costing me? He said, it's $1 per sheet. $1 per sheet, 500 apartments, and twice a day. So $1,000 a day just to tell me the pool is in maintenance. So I said, hey, why don't we build a mobile app for the building? So now with My Alliance, we're building mobile apps. 2012, mobile apps were like the brand new thing. No, not many people knew about it. So he's like, I don't know what that means. I said, okay, cool, let me show you. So we went to Dubai. Dubai's got the best building technology. Came back and said, hey, this is what a mobile app could be for the building. And so what did it do? It created communication. Depending on which level I am, I get the right communication. Created community. So we had a little button on there saying, hey, here's all the events, etc. We had a business directory in the building. So now people were doing e-commerce within themselves, well, commerce. So that's FMV technology was born. And then the person I was in business with said, hey, I'm retiring. He was 70 years old. He said, I'm done. I said, okay, I'll buy the business. So I got this business. I was great at the tech, but I didn't want to go out there knocking on the doors, selling technology. I get a call from these dudes. They're like, we've been trying to copy your technology for 2 years. Do you want to have a meeting? I'm like, yes, please. So we have a meeting and they go, you're selling this stuff really cheap. This is how we think you should do the business. I said, cool, let's do it. And so we partnered up. And these guys, their last company that they did was 1.2 billion. So I'm sitting there going, how the hell did I find myself at this table with these guys? And just, wow, this is amazing. So we built Building Interactive. Building Interactive, we ended up having clients like Lend-Lease, Stockland, all the biggest property developers, building developers in Australia. So that's that one. 2017. Now, we systemize businesses. So once we systemized it, I didn't really have much to do. So I was like, how can I get back to the to our community? We built another business called Business Authorities, and it was just giving back to the business owners in Melbourne. So we ended up having 3,000 business owners come through that business. The My Alliance. Remember, I said there were 36 agencies that were supplying us, or that we were supplying. One of the guys, I look at my general manager managed everything, but I just look at the numbers. So I'm looking at the numbers and I see that one of the guys, he's not ordering from us anymore. So I call him up. I'm like, hey man, what happened? You don't like us anymore. You're not ordering from us. He goes, no, my business partner's terminal. I'm trying to do everything. I'm going down. I said, what are you going to do with the business? He goes, I'm going to shut it down. I said, hey, you've been in business for 18 years. What are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to go get a job. I go, dude, you're unemployable. You can't get a job after being in business for 18 years. So I said, hey, how about we do a managed buyout? So we bought the company. Now, he's got 4,000 clients. Out of those, 800 of them were blue chip companies, national brands, etc. So we acquired Earthlink. Hang on, go back. So acquired Earthlink. One of the things that we did there was we said, hey, you can come on, stay with us for 6 months. That's the handover period. And when we do that, I want you to introduce me to not the 4,000, just these 800. Day one, we go and we meet a mining company. And the mining company, we go, hey. Anyway, this guy had sold them $8,000 worth of services in a year. Walked out of there with a $30,000 a month package. So he's like, dude, 360 grand? I'm like, yeah, not bad, huh? Anyway, the next company that we had on the list was a mechanical parts, car parts. They supply car parts around Australia. They wanted a mobile app built, $200,000. So by the time we're done, he's like, dude, did we just make $500,000 in a day? I go, no, that's just half a day. And so the purpose of telling you that is it's not about a bragging thing. It's about there's underutilized assets in every company. And if you know how to sell or what to sell, what they want, because we're all in our business. So we're in our business and we don't see the other opportunities that there are. So by showing him this, he was just like blown away. So that's what happened with Earthlink. We exited Building Interactive in 2019. 2020, exited Earthlink, and then 2021, White Label Suite was born. So came to the Gold Coast. Walt had interviewed me on his podcast. We kept in touch. And then I said, hey, I'm in the Gold Coast. We caught up for breakfast. And then 2021, White Label Suite was born. And then hopefully in 2027, if everything goes according to plan, we will exit White Label Suite. So that's just a little bit of a history. So my approach to business. The first thing we do is expand your mind. Now, this was you sitting down and zenning out going, what do I want from this business? But now with AI, it's completely different because it can think of different ways to make your business that you never thought about. So in our business, we're talking about Manus. So I got Manus about 2 months ago. 2 months ago? Yeah, March. And I said, hey, build me a brand. And it went all over the internet and it came back and said, here's your brand. And I went, wow, this is amazing. 10 minutes of work. It went, read all the podcasts and YouTube videos and everything and came back with the brand. And I went, hang on, let me tell you a little bit more. So I said, this is my company. And I gave it some details. And then I said, actually, this is our vision of where we want to go. And then it came back and said, okay, cool. Can I have some more information? And by the time I was done, I told it our financials. People go, hey, it's a Chinese company. Don't give it your financials and stuff. Anyway, told it that, told it our team, our structure, everything. And it came back with, you can't achieve all these things. You have to do A, B, C, D and do it in this way. And it restructured our entire business. It gave me plans for each person in our organization and their KPIs and a daily plan for 30 days for each person in our business, which was crazy. We showed it to the GM. The GM said, this will work. Anyway, so it came back with 4 things. It said, so we've got a retail product called Prospect Falcon. It said, if you put all your energy and effort into Prospect Falcon, direct the whole team there, it'll make $2 million a year. If you do put all your energy and effort into White Label Suite, it'll do $5 million a year. If you put all your energy and effort into Influencer Empires, it's going to do $36 million a year. And then it said, have you seen, what was it? What's the Marty McFly thing? Back to the Future. Have you seen Back to the Future? I went, no. And I hadn't seen Back to the Future, so I have now. And I had to go and watch it. I didn't know what it was talking about. And it said, your technology plugged into, so picture Zoom, right? We're having a conversation on Zoom. And while we're talking, you're getting the information. This is where Johan likes to go on holiday. This is his kids. This is his last, toy that he bought or whatever it is. If you're getting that information, it's worth a lot of money. And so it said that company, if you build that and plug it into Shopify, so our tool we can play at a $2 million level, we can play at a $5 million, $36 million, or unicorn status. So that's what I mean by expand your mind. We had no idea that these are the different things that it can do, and AI helped us with that. The next thing you do, establish a mission. Yeah, go.
You were asking a thing. What was the platform you were using for asking?
Manus.
Manus. Okay.
Yep. MANUS. So once you do that, you got to establish your mission. Who am I going to serve? How am I going to serve them? Where am I going to play in the marketplace? Then we design the brand to match that market because, the brand matters. That's the foundation steps. Then we create our presence. We leverage technology, set up all the systems that are in there so that everything is systemized and runs by itself. Then you compound your sales, and so all your sales are happening automatically. And scaling your business. So this is where you're running ads, and now you can really scale it because you've got a proven system. The rest of this presentation is going to be focused on amplifying your tribe. Yeah, and the reason being, I believe that all of you are up to this stage. Yes, you would amplify your tribe. Everybody's established. Everybody has their sales systems down. Well, it made a big difference. Like, we didn't know about, we had a plan for where we wanted to go, but then when it changed everything. Anyway, for the last 2 months, I've just been all AI. So amplifying your tribe, that's where this presentation is going to be. Then you dominate your industry, and then you build your empire, and then you start again, because you got to expand your mind again. Cool. So how do you amplify your tribe? Joint ventures. Joint ventures are the quickest, fastest, easiest way. When I was sitting down today, I just got a message from Lead Gen J. So this guy is a YouTuber. We have a product that generates leads. He's got 60,000 subscribers. One of his videos gets 167,000 views. For us to build that would take us years. That's a lot of content. He's got his following. He's got all of that. We don't need to, we can just leverage that. So he just said, hey, let's go. We're going to promote you. I said, fantastic. So joint ventures, that's the most fun part for me. Every day I wake up and I go, hey, one deal away, who can I wake up and serve? And so who can I connect with? And it doesn't have to be about me. It's who can I put together to make things happen? Because there's a law of reciprocity. If you help people, it comes back to you 10 times over. So that's the mindset that I wake up with. Joint ventures, they lead to more leads, more time, more profit, and more impact. nothing I'm going to share here is new. Jay Abraham, Jim Rohn, and Dan Kennedy, they're the ones who did this stuff back in the 70s, right? And so, results not typical. The lawyer told me to put this in there. It's for entertainment purposes only. I don't guarantee any results. Let's talk about business. Business is risky, right? A normal business is risky business. That's from Billions, by the way, just in case. It's not some kinky thing. Most you guys seen Billions? Yes?
Yeah.
Yep, cool. So what do you have in your normal business? You've got your domain, you've got your website, your marketing, your collateral, your team, all of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff to make sure. And so this is the reason why most business owners are so bogged down. So you go, hey, how about we do something together? Dude, I've got stuff to do. But if I say, hey, Rob, I've got 200,000 Australians who love investing in property. I'm going to take care of everything. You're just going to show up on a webinar and present.
Done.
Easy, right? And that is an example of a joint venture. When you make it easy for them, where they don't have to do anything else, they will jump on and say, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. So this first presentation is going to be a little bit of death by PowerPoint. I'm sorry, but it's theory. But the next presentation in the afternoon is pure demo. There's 4 slides in the whole thing. So theory today in the morning, and then demo in the afternoon. And I'll find you 200,000 people very easily. So with joint ventures, there's little to no risk for all the partners involved. How long does it take to build a business up to $1 million? How about 5 million? 10, 20, 100, and over 40 years, it's only 0.01%. How long does it take to set up a joint venture? About 2 weeks, right? Like it's not even that. It's not that long, and I'm gonna walk you through a step-by-step example of $1 million joint venture, which you'll be able to clone for your businesses. All right. One of the key things to know is what's the difference between a partnership and a joint venture. So partnership is what we have. This man's awake at 5 in the morning, I'm awake at 5 in the morning. We go to bed at midnight, it's the work ethic, we have the same values, everything is the same, and we're working at the same pace. A joint venture is when it's convenient. Hey, let's do a promo together. How about in 2 months? So you don't take too much offense to if somebody goes, how about in 2 months? Yeah, cool, it's a joint venture, it's fine, it's whenever it suits them, yeah? So that's the difference between those. So the 4 core principles. Every business has assets that they're not capitalizing on, yeah? Everybody's got a database, everybody's got Facebook pages and things that you're not utilizing. That's just the way it is. Joint ventures allow you to capitalize on these things, and every business has them. Because you're leveraging assets your partners already have, there's little to no cost. So it's very easy. So if I had written you're in buyer's agency. Cool. So if I said, hey, here's some emails, there's 3 emails, can you send it out to your database and I'll send it out to somebody else's database and you show up and present. Easy, right? Yeah. So that kind of stuff. When you leverage a company's assets properly, there's no more extra costs and there's big profit margins to be had there. So an example of joint ventures. Agencies and MyLines. So my company, MyLines, 36 agencies, we used to build websites really well. But then we said, hey, people, what happens when somebody's got a website? They go, hey, I got a website. People aren't buying. Yeah, you need ads. So we didn't do ads, so we'd send them to the ad guy. And then they needed content, so we'd send them to the content guy. And so I created a client journey saying, now you have your website, let's get all your collateral, your business cards, all of that kind of stuff organized. Then let's get your social media content, then let's get your ads running, let's get your funnels built, ads running, etc. And there was about 8 people in this chain. So the more websites we could pump out, the more people we could send through this chain, and we were making 20% from every one of those people. Now in agency land, our profit margin was 20%. But now I get to, that one person, I get to capitalize 8 times on that. Make sense? So we just wanted to pump out as many websites as we could. And so that's the agencies and MyLines. Remember those guys I said, $1.2 billion company with Building Interactive? So who's heard of a company called Sukin? Sukin, yeah? Do you know the story of them? So the factory was in Dandenong, and they were doing 6 million a year in turnover, but it was costing them 7 million a year. So they were negative 1 million every year. So these two guys who were at the table, they took over the company. They got it for free. In 5 years, they turned it into 700 million. Then they did one joint venture with the pharmacy group in the UK. That pharmacy group had 2,500 pharmacies, which then took them to a valuation of 1.2 billion, which is where these guys cashed out. So that's the skincare one. Go high level and white label suite. So our company, we've just written the unofficial playbook for GHL agencies. Now, Go High Level has 100,000 people in their ecosystem. We also built them a game, which we presented to the founders last week. And so we're leveraging, blocking the thing. We're leveraging their database. They are giving us the tick of approval and sending it out to all their people. We've got about 60 key affiliates who are going to promote this for us. And so now we acquire that entire database, and then we get to upsell them white label suite. So that's the strategy there.
Can you explain what white label suite is? I don't think everyone understands.
Yeah, for sure. So white label suite is a software tool that Walt built 13 years ago. And in the last 4 years, it's got tons of AI, etc. We plugged into the Go High Level ecosystem, and their agencies use our tool. They white label it, they plug it in, and they sell it to their clients. What it does is you tell it, I'm looking for all the CEOs in Melbourne who invest in property, and it'll go find them all. I'm looking for all the influencers in this space. It'll go find them all, interacts with them, books them into your calendar. So we'll do a demo of that in the afternoon session.
Pretty powerful.
It's pretty epic. I can't believe that this technology exists. And every day when I show it to people, 99.9% of the time, people are just like, holy shit. Yeah, every day. So those are some examples of joint ventures. So hypothetical, what if COVID happened? In fact, in this current economic climate, what if war happens, right? And for some reason, supply chains are disrupted and you can't do your normal business, but you still need cash flow. What do? You just flick to a joint venture model and you go, hey, who can I connect up with? So there's a host, there's a partner, and the facilitator. So we are facilitators in this space. So why do they work? Because having all the work done for you is very easy. You don't have to do any extra work. The facilitator is doing the work for you. They uncover hidden profit centers that the business owner didn't think about because they're too busy doing their own thing. Traditional businesses are all time and resource poor. They're all of us. And then you help the owner capitalize on assets that they already have, and it makes it more profitable and the owner's life easier. So you always got to keep thinking about, hey, how can I add more value to that person? It's a new source of sales that they hadn't thought about, but it doesn't take away from their existing sales. So it just adds on, and it's extra money. And it's a win-win-win. Why is it a win-win-win? Because the owner of that business, Rob, wins. The new people who are getting exposure to him, they win. And then we win, because we get a clip of the ticket. It's a shortcut for bringing new products or services to market. Ta-da! All right, so 5 examples of joint ventures that you can do, and just pick one that you like. So the first one, so this is back in the agency days, right? We had the client journey, and we said, hey, let's send people to SEO, let's send them to PPC, let's send them funnels, etc. So that's a quick, easy referral mechanism. The second one is profit cloning. So this is really cool. So we had a client, now this is when I was doing agency stuff. They did outdoor furniture. And actually, before I get to that, I lived in Horsham. Horsham's a tiny little town in Victoria. And there's just one main street. And this Thai restaurant opened up. And it was about, I think, like $10, $15 for a meal. And everyone used to go there on a Friday, and it would be packed. And then at the other end of the street, another Thai restaurant opened up, and it was about $50 a meal. And so I went to the other one day, and it's the same owner who was over there. I was like, dude, what are you doing here? He's like, well, some people want the cheap meals, some people want the expensive meals. I've got everything covered. So one street, either side. So this is profit cloning. So with this example here, the outdoor furniture guy, to sell outdoor furniture all day long, it's a lot of transactions. And then we said, hey, what if we did it in bulk and sold it to, whoever wants to buy bulk outdoor furniture. And so we did that. And then he added 30% to his bottom line in the first month. And now 70% of his business comes from that. And the orders are much bigger because people are just buying from the second website really in big orders. And a lot less stress. So, strategy 3, product specialization. So this is really fun. So, who's heard of Infusionsoft? Yeah. So back in the day, we did Infusionsoft, and we were their number one people in Australia. And what we did was we created, hey, the power of automation for dentists, the power of automation for chiropractors, the power of automation for lawyers, and all of these things. We created 60 different versions that allowed us to go into their markets, right? And it's just so easy. So when you say, sorry, Rob, I'm going to keep picking on you because he's the only one I know. Property investing for chiropractors, property investing for dentists. Now they go, ooh, this is specific for me. It's just another angle, and you get that market, and they all shared with each other. And then you go and you speak at all their events. And so now you've got a whole nother niche. So we used to go and speak at all the dentists. They used to have events, and we'd go speak and say, this is how automation is done for dentists. And they'd be like, yay. And then the next day we were at the Chiropractors Association. Same thing. So, exactly. Yeah. So this is one of my favorite ones, which is basically an affiliate play. So every business has a great relationship with their database, and you get to leverage that relationship. It generates a lot of revenue for you. There's an increase in client loyalty, and there's no risk with these offers. So, marketing software, basically you find 10 complementary products that your clients like. So, Justin, all of your clients, they get SEO from you, they get WordPress, but there's other stuff in your niche that you could sell them all day long that they need, right? CRMs and everything, yeah, exactly. And so it's very easy for you to go, hey guys, this month, we're talking about GHL, go high level. Here's the latest CRM. And then they'll go and sign up, and you made a nice, actually 40% GHL pays. So that's a cool little thing. Then approach those clients, set up agreements, and then you're done. And profits come on autopilot. Syndicates. So building a syndicate. So this is where you go and you find 5 companies that sell complementary products to what your clients want. Each month, each of those 6 people will mail out for you. So you're getting exposure to 5 or 6 different databases every time. And it continues for 6 months. So now every month you're getting exposure to a brand new database, and your database grows. 10 times a year, they're promoting your offers to other members. And yeah, it's just one of the easiest strategies there is. Okay, so the ticket conductor method. So you locate companies that are doing 2 million a year. Why do I say 2 million a year? Because they've got scale, and you can drive 1,000 customers to them. They're not going to get bogged down. You broker a joint venture between them, and then you just rinse and repeat. It doesn't work for small mom and pop stores because they can't. So we tried to do this with the mortgage broker. They got 50 inquiries. They were overloaded. They couldn't do it. Yeah. So keep it simple, stupid. Very simple yet powerful formula. Offer your services, or offer joint ventures to companies that are going to be in a position to take action really quickly, and they can capitalize on it. So why is it important? Because once we have an agreement, it doesn't take long to set up. So this guy, Lead Gen, he's got 60,000 subscribers on his YouTube. He's got a big giant database. My team will write up the emails. He presses send. They show up at the webinar. sales are made. It's not that hard. And they've got the resources to make that happen. So, possible outcomes. This is just if you want to have some fun and make an extra 300 grand cash. Yeah? Identify companies doing at least $2 million in annual turnover, plus marketing. Why plus marketing? Because they know the value of a lead. They know how much it costs them to acquire a new customer. So if you want to do it as a lifestyle business, working with 10 clients per year, so if I added an extra $150,000 to your company, would you be happy to give me 20%? Yeah? Most people say yes. That's $30,000 per client. So if you had 10 of those, you make $300,000 cash. Nice and easy. How long will it take you to find 10 companies? Guess what? They're in this room. So what are the expenses when you're doing a joint venture? There's little to none. Everything is templated. Clients pay for the cost to manufacture the product, etc. So you're just driving more business to them. No investments in infrastructure and lists, etc. You don't have to worry about it paying the employees, nothing. And everything is paid by the suppliers. So, control versus ownership. Again, for me to build a channel that's 60,000 subscribers is going to take me a long time. This guy is going to give us control of his asset. Greg has given us control of this room for a very short amount of time. And so, how long has the collective been around? It's a long time. You guys all have trust amongst yourselves. Control versus ownership. When you can get control for a little bit, you can then leverage that. Established companies loan you the use of all their assets that they've given you. And yeah, they're paying you to utilize the assets. So if it's easy, everybody would do it. Well, it's all about working smarter, not harder. And everything has to be systemized. So I'll give you some quick examples. So building interactive, we used to put the technology into buildings. So there was about 7 different technologies that, if you see any of the buildings around here, 7 companies would be pitching for those buildings. So I called up one of the competitors and I said, hey, I'm going to go pitch to this building. I know you want them as a client. Can I pitch your stuff? And they're like, why would you pitch our stuff? I said, I'm going to go see them anyway. I know you want to get in front of them. I'll pitch your stuff. Okay. They're a bit they're like, hey, I don't know about this. I said, just trust me. It'll be fine. So anyway, so I go and I pitch our stuff plus their stuff, which made it stronger as an offering. And so we got that. And then I keep pitching, and we're getting them more and more deals. And so they're like, dude, let's do a referral. So now that happened. And then we got the next one. So now we have 3. The other 2 then came and begged us. They're like, can we be part of your little syndicate? And we ended up creating a monopoly. So now every time we went into pitch, we were pitching 5 different companies as one solution. Nobody could get rid of us because there was 5 different companies in there, yeah? And then the other 2, we created a barrier so no one else could come in because they can't have 5 companies, essentially. But what did that do? It turned the other 4 companies into my sales team. So now we've got all of them because then everybody was pitching everybody else's stuff. So now everybody's pitching, and that's how we grew really quickly. This is another little hidden source. So we like mobile apps. This is probably from like 2018. There's an app here. You can go to Sensor Tower and you can buy apps, or you can do joint ventures with apps. So we all have mobile apps. So you can see here, this beauty filter, 7 million downloads. Where's my pink? 7 million downloads over there. So my friend bought this app for $50,000, and then he sold it to L'Oreal for $200,000. Quick and easy. Why? Because it's a beauty app. And so then L'Oreal took it, reskinned it, and just made it about L'Oreal. 7 million downloads. Really quick and easy. So I said, hey, does this still work? So I went to Sensor Tower yesterday, and I put this in. AI video maker. Can you see how many downloads they have last month? 2 million downloads. How much revenue did they do? $5,000. 2 million, 2 million, and they're only getting back 5,000. We could easily go to them and find a joint venture with somebody else and say, hey, let us double, triple, quadruple that, whatever it is. Anyway, the point is, if you want to have some fun, there's all these different ways to do it. I was sitting down at an event, and I was sitting, people were asking questions, and this guy said he's a not-for-profit. So nobody was talking to the guy. So I sat next to him, I'm like, hey, tell me about your not-for-profit. He goes, I have 38,000 tech businesses on my database. I'm like, dude, everybody's ignored the guy with the biggest database here. So anyway, so we talked and ended up creating a product, launching it, all that. And it was quick and easy. So we did a joint venture with them, we marketed to the list, and then what happened once we had that, we could then promote other services to that business, to that list. So God mode is when you become a distributor of distribution. So we'll show you that. So our latest iteration of our company, by the way, our company has different arms. Influencer Empires is one of them. So Influencer Empires, we're only talking to influencers. Like, what's the average influencer?
One that we did an interview with last week has 18 billion views on his YouTube channel.
So
Average 5 to 10 million views a day.
Yep. So that's what I mean by that's God mode, right? Because now if you want to get distribution, you can just hit up all these influencers, and because we already have rapport with them, we've done something good with them, they're happy to promote.
As well.
Awesome. So guys, you ready for that $1 million example? Yeah? Okay, so who knows who Jay Abraham is? Jay Abraham? Anyway, he's a great mentor of mine. So he says there's only 3 ways to grow a business: increase the number of clients, increase the transaction value, or increase the frequency of purchase. So over here, he just increases everything by 10%, then 20%, 30%. Massive difference from 200,000 down to 500,000. Anyway, the important part is increase the number of clients, increase the transaction value, or increase the frequency of purchase. So this is the $1 million deal. So this was done in 2018. So we were running business authorities, we shared how to do joint ventures, and then the next month somebody came back and said this is what they did. So this is a live example. So the deal maker went and did a joint venture with some fitness clubs. So he saw that these fitness clubs had really, really, really bad marketing. So he said, hey, look, I've got this amazing marketing which is going to drive traffic to you. I need you to pay for the collateral. They were like little postcard things with a deal, $99 for 6 months, something like that. It was $10,000. And he showed it to the fitness club, and they go, fine, here's the $10,000. So he's out of pocket, nothing. They paid for the flyers. From that, he printed 20,000 of those flyers. And it said $99 for 6 months. It cost him 50 cents a piece. And he also negotiated 10% of the clients that he brought into them for 5 years. Yeah? He goes to all of the clothes shops around, all the gym clothes shops, and said, hey, I'm going to sell you this voucher for $99. It's worth $99 to anybody who comes to your store and spends $150. Now, their average spend over there was $120. But now they can, by spending an extra $30, they would get this voucher, right, for 6 months at the gym. So he sold them at $2 a piece. Remember, his cost price was 50 cents. So he's already made $30,000 profit just from that one transaction. So then the clothing store is really, really excited because they're getting their clients to spend more money, so more than $200. They got the free voucher, and then they spent, there was increased word of mouth. People would say, hey, come along, let's go get the gym. Let's go spend some money on clothes, and then we'll get the vouchers and do the gym thing together. The health club was happy because now they have 20,000 people coming to their business. Did 20,000 people come? No. People throw it in the bin or whatever, or forget about it. But there was no extra promotion for them. 6 months later, he did an evaluation. The health club closed 20% of those $199 memberships. So they got 4,000 new memberships. So not 20,000, they got 4,000. which made them $796,000. And he walked away with 10% of that, which is 80 grand. And so that's the $1 million deal. Nice, quick, and easy. And took him about 2 weeks to put together. Yeah, so quick wins. Joint ventures bring in quick cash flow. There's not that many moving parts. It's high profit to effort ratio, and it's a lot of fun. Businesses, they get consistent cash flow by doing joint ventures, right? We love doing joint ventures. You can grow exponentially. And so, with the camps, one of the strategies, actually, I'm going to cut, sorry, ADD, I segue a lot. One of my friends, COVID finishes, and he calls me up, he's like, hey man, I need your help. I go, what's up? He goes, during COVID, I built all these pages on Facebook, and I don't know what to do with them. I go, okay, cool. How many people you got on the pages? He goes, 3 million people. I go, the fuck? Oops, sorry. I go, what do you mean 3 million people? He goes, what should I do? I go, run for prime minister, Anyway, so he built all these Australian beer and wine spirits, Australian tradies, all these groups. And so then leveraging this strategy, he's just doing that. So what that led us to go is, hey, how many groups are there on Facebook for property investors? How many groups are there for camping? And so then going and just messaging the admins and saying, hey, do you want to do a joint venture? How about we promote this thing together and this is a clip that you get? So again, Facebook strategy that not many people are doing.
Facebook groups
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. So when you offer them, hey, we'll give you X dollars, they're like, wow, let's make it happen. Cool. So joint ventures increases your cash flow, your business then funds your legacy. It also is a lot of fun and great to do. All right. Would you like to see the software that makes it happen?
So you want to plug your laptop in? No, I'll use yours, that's right. So anybody not sold on doing joint ventures? Anybody think they're a bad idea? No. Does anybody want the one question that will make it easier for you? In a place. So this was taught to me by Johan. So I've exited 3 tech companies. Every single one of them has been built on the back of joint ventures. But here's the one question that you can ask in any market that'll work for you, which is who benefits from the increase in my distribution? Example, our sunglasses team, Craig and Laney, right? Who benefits from you guys doing better? The packaging companies, the freight companies, the glasses companies, like who benefits from you doing better? As soon as you can answer that question, you've got your JV partners in front of you, right? So who's going to do better if I do better? And immediately that gives you a short list of the people that you can hit up for a joint venture. Because if they are going to do better, chances are they know someone or they're in business with a connector that you can talk to. So you can reach out to them and say, hey, how about we do something together? And they win because you do better. They're going to do whatever they can to help you put that together. So that was, again, taught by Johan. So if you want to find out who teaches or who, how to reach those people, we'll kick into that. As Johan said, I started this particular software program back when we used to sell software on CD. Anybody remember that? So we used to literally ship this program that you're about to see out on disk. And I was still working a job. I was working for a software company here in the Gold Coast who then relocated to Melbourne. And the day that I realized I was bound to be an entrepreneur, I was doing this as a side hustle. And there was a trade show coming up, which I spent $1,800 to book a trade show table at. And I pre-printed 500 of my super-powered CDs that I'm about to show you the AI evolution of 15 years later. And we sold out before lunch and I quit my job the next day. So here we go. Been some rough times since then, but yeah, do you want to kick us off? Well, and I like the fact that we've got Porsche there. It's my show. All right, cool. All right. So I know you've got a couple of things that you wanted to go through.
Oh, no. It's just...
All right. Let's go do some deals. So thank you, Johan. All right, cool. So again, super quick story. Johan mentioned that we got into business together because I interviewed him on a podcast. Greg, I know you're doing podcasts and you were doing it before it was cool. Is anybody else in the room doing podcasts? Rob, you got something going on there? Okay, cool. I found this to be really interesting. So one of the companies that I exited had a podcast connected to it, which is where we met. And I sold that podcast as part of the brand. So that actually went. But at the time, it was in the top 5% of podcasts in the world, which is wicked because you get some really cool exposure. But what I found in relation to the JV partnerships deal that we were just talking about was that it's the most amazing way to get your ideal partners to talk to you. And the strategy that I use, and following the give method, for any of you who are not doing this, I've got a 30-step process where I've documented exactly what happens after I hit the end button, and my team does everything for me. And from post-production to putting it out there to getting it publicized to doing all that kind of stuff, we've got it in a ClickUp doc with every single step of that systemized. If you want that set of SOPs, it's yours. I'll happily give it to you. So yeah, happy to do that. So how does that fit into the model that we're about to talk about? We've been able to increase our distribution by getting those right people to know we exist. But here's how it works, right? I want that guy to promote me. So what do? I reach out to him and I go, hey, can you promote me? And he goes, right? Because who loves that? Nobody. But what we do is we reach out to the people we really want to do business with and we make them look really good. What? Yeah, we make them look really good. How do we do that? Get them on a podcast and make them look like an absolute superhero. And just purely for numbers point of view, when I was reaching out to Fortune 500 CEOs, NASA astronauts, 5-time Olympians, influencers with 1 billion views or more, we had a 100% yes rate. So I could reach out to a Fortune 500 CEO and I could say, hey, can you promote my stuff? No chance. But I can reach out to that same Fortune 500 CEO and say, hey, dude, love what you do. I've got a tribe that we're building. Our new brand is called Influencer Empires, where we're reaching out to people with influence, and I'd love to spotlight you because I love what you're doing. Have you got half an hour sometime next week? 100% yes rate. So now I'm getting the person I really want to do business with on the other end of a Zoom call. And all of the questions are about, wow, so tell me about that. Well, how did you come up with, wow, that's amazing, man. You're incredible. So what did you do then? What was you thinking? How did that work? And you know what they want to do? They want to tell that story. So this is where the ego effect kicks in, right? So we've done this incredible reach out. We've featured somebody really incredible, like top level people. And then what do we do afterwards? We send them a gift basket. What? Yeah, we send them a gift basket. Like $100 Amazon, beautiful, put both arms around it. Now, guess what happens? When that gift basket rocks up on their doorstep, they take a photo of it and go, thanks, Walt, this is amazing. And our traffic goes ka-dink, right? And then when we launch the episode, we drop out to them a whole bunch of social media posts already done with them featured, looking great, gold all around them, superstar episode with, right? Jonathan Mast was our one that we just dropped out, right? 2.4 million people watch every move he makes. He posted our episode and our traffic went stink. And Austin Armstrong, unbelievable. Rachel Peterson, incredible people, but 100% yes rate. So how do we reach the people that we want to get to? This program that I'm about to show you guys, we'll get to the live demo. I'm actually looking at your slides. I'm not going to look at any of them, by the way. So this program started on CD. Why? Because I used to struggle to get clients, all right? I think I was in sales. I needed to find out how to get people. I had a friend who was a programmer. We got together and I had a bit of a conversation with him. I said, listen, man, help me get some people. I need to, whatever. And he built a little thing that we put on CD and it was designed to do lead generation. Lead generation. Anybody interested? Anybody want more leads? Every single body around the room went, yep. So when Johan and I got together, I had 8 different companies that I was running, and I was running. None of them well. We met down in Broadbeach, had coffee. Johan said to me, how's things, man? I went, dude, oh my God. I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And he said, wait,
what was that thing about the lead generation? And I said, oh yeah, you just plug in whoever you want and, you can find anybody who's got, can you show me that? And I went, yeah, sure. And like popped open the laptop and, and he went, this is incredible. He's a business legend. And he said to me, all right, man, you got too much going on. You need to do this, this, this. This is your strategy. This is what you're doing. Give. This is what you should do to streamline everything and blow this up. And I was tired. I was really tired as an entrepreneur, really, really tired. And so I said, thanks, man. That's really great advice. God, shit, I've got so much to do. And I called him back the next day and I said, man, that was really great advice. Do you want to do it together? And he went, what? Come on, dude. You want to give me half of your tech company? And I said, no, I don't want to give you half of my tech company. I want to build a new tech company with you. And he went, you actually said, I had to convince you. So he went, no, come on, mate, just do what I told you to do. And I said, I want to do it with you. So let's go. And yeah, 4 years ago. So from a podcast into a multi-million-dollar business because, being able to share that information. So this program is designed to help people get leads. We started with lots of different iterations. We're just going to jump in here. Let me jump out and get into... I'll just get into browse and load. All right. So I'm going to show you two different levels of this. Our distribution channel for this is through agencies and we white label it. But so I'll show you what the software does to start off with. Greg, you got a license here. Can I use your logins? I don't know. Actually, I just want to test something. You don't know the password, but I might. No, okay. I just thought I'd be tricky. Let's see if I can get it done.
You got a back door to everyone's account.
Yeah, I do, but I have to get into my account first to get there. Hopefully. If not, I'll grab my computer. But anyway. I'll grab my computer.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep. Password's all saved.
Yeah.
It's a pity you can't remember his password.
Let's try again.
Yeah, right. Just one more go. Just one more go.
Yeah, and he said save as well.
Just one more go. All right. Let's jump in. All right. Yeah, internet. All right, let's see if a core will let me on their network, eh? Yeah, maybe.
I'll put it down and I'll plug it in at the same time.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Have you got a guest Wi-Fi thingy? Or use Johan's hotspot?
Yeah, it's got my hotspot.
Yep.
Actually, I do already have that. Yeah.
Cool, go for it. All right, so again, just to fill the uncomfortable silence. Who's your ideal client? Who do you want to reach? Give me some examples. Who would you want to, if you could put 10 people in a room, who do you want to speak to? Guys, anybody with hands up and I'll do it live for you. So think of, if you could speak to your ideal client, or you could speak to an ideal referral partner, or following Johan's thoughts, who would you want to speak to? Give me some hands up and some ideas. Horse clients, Jace. Okay, cool. You want tiny home builders?
No.
Nope. All right, got one of those already.
I'll do prefab manufacturers.
Prefab manufacturers. Cool. Awesome. In any location?
Any location.
Cool. Awesome. So.
Small agencies.
Perfect. Amazing.
Is it hard for you to press record on the screen on that or not?
Nope. You want to record as I go?
Do you mind?
Of course.
Because Jono's can only get that down.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, easy. Let's just loom it, hey?
Thank you.
No problems. I'll keep the audio off on the loom, but we'll just kind of match it up, yeah? So let's go. All right. So this is the AI evolution of that same program that I built 15 years ago. Are we recording? We are recording. All right, great. And it's designed around the similar sort of principles. So first, if we understand who we're looking for, then we can start to find those people. If you don't understand who you're looking for, you can even ask AI to start to find them for you. So tell me who my ideal market should be based on my company, and AI does a whole bunch of analysis and comes back and says, all right, based on who you are and what you do and your website and your customer base and all that kind of stuff, here's just some suggestions for you to even get started on that who should I speak to next kind of profile. So this suggestion piece is all AI driven. It's like, I understand what your business does. Now I understand who your customers are. Let me see if I can make some suggestions for you. But once we get past that point, then we're starting to get into different methods of searching. So I'm looking for small hosting companies that are running WordPress, as an example, or who have, or are agencies, that kind of stuff. Perfect. In that example, I'm going to use a company search. I'm looking for what was yours, Rob? Sorry, the
Prefab manufacturing.
prefab manufacturers, probably the same sort of space. The horse side of things, Jace?
Selling a first aid and emergency course
Okay.
to horse owners.
Horse owners. Beautiful. So you're actually training them on emergencies if somebody has an accident on their thing. Great. So that would probably be in our people search. Following our talk a few moments ago about reaching those people with big audiences, we're going to hit into that influencer search, which is the starting point. So let's just kick off a couple of searches. And again, this is just designed to put the ideal people in front of you. And the next question is then, now what? What do I do next? And that's where we're moving to from a company point of view, coaching people into all right, cool, now you've got your systems in place. What's next? Where do you go from there? So let's start with, I'm looking for prefab manufacturing companies. And whereabouts, Rob? Anywhere in Australia? You're Melbourne based? You're Brisbane. Okay, well, let's start in Brisbane and we'll work out from there. All right, so I'm looking for prefab manufacturing in Brisbane. Put them all on a list for Rob as we go and hit go. So what's going to happen is the first search that this program does hits Google, which is pretty standard because Google's got the biggest database of company listings anywhere in the world. So nothing magic in what you're about to see in this first screen. So this first screen literally goes, this type of company in this location, here they all are. And we go, cool, let's start with here they all are. So we start with a Google search. That's not the magic. The magic is happening in the background. So we've looked for a particular type of company in a particular location, and we've got a ton of them. We've got company names, we've got reputation in the market, we've got websites, we've got phone numbers, we've got location data if we wanted to. Now, straight away we go, cool, that's a good starting point, but I could have just gone to Google and done that same search on Google Maps. In the background is where all of our AI enrichment is starting to take place. So in the background, and you'll see more and more of these colorful dots coming through in just a second, we'll start to see things like employee count. So I'm starting to see how big are the companies that we want to deal with. We're starting to get all of the contact information and positioning of people that work there. So Noel's the CEO of this particular company. I've got his email address, which is a verified email based on my tick, and I can do even a little bit more digging and tell you what he does on the weekends if we want to get down to that sort of level. So I'm starting to enrich this data. So we're starting at a company level, we're starting to say, who does what I need to, who's the people that are going to benefit from my increased distribution? Let's go out and make some deals happen. Great. Now I'm starting to get company data. I'm starting to see, all right, well, this particular company, I've got 10 emails here. I've got Bill, who's the BDM. I've got Jared, who's the general manager. Guess who I want to speak to? So now I'm starting to see the contact information of the people that I'm trying to reach. But now we can start to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. As an agency, if you are serving clients, then you want to reach out to these guys and help them expand. We're going to use something like this, which is ICP suggestion. So tell me who these guys do business with. Why? Because, well, they might be my ideal partners as well. This is 100% AI running in the background that now starts to go, cool, I understand not only who you are, I understand who they are. Now let me see if I can do some client suggestion stuff for them. So when I reach out to them, I can say, hey, I noticed that you'd probably be best to deal with construction companies, mining industries, government agencies, educational institutions. Does that sound about right? I can help you reach them because I can do this, this, and this. So ICP, we can do things like, you know what, these guys, ICP, ideal client profile. Okay. So if I'm trying to work with a client and I want to tell them, I can help you grow, this is kind of who I think we should be targeting. Does that sound right? Great. I can help you find your ideal client profile. we do some cool stuff from there. We go, you know what? These guys look like ideal clients. You know, this is my prefab manufacturer in Brisbane. I might be right on the money here. Who are their competitors? So again, I'm hitting up AI going, go and look at who this company is and tell me who else in the marketplace does what they do. And now we can start to actually open the doors to like and similar companies that are in that space as well. So every single time we're looking for a particular type of business, we're then getting AI to do a whole bunch of work in the background. So this is going to come back and say, all right, if you like this company, people who are similar in the market are these guys, these guys, these guys. So again, if you're looking for your agency models, or you're looking for people with horses or that kind of stuff, we can get into that. So now I'm starting to go, cool, these are some of the competitors. I can add them to the list. I can go another level of enrichment. I can let AI do its work on that new set of records. So in a company level, what we can do is we can go, find me this type of business in this location with this kind of thing. I can filter and say, I only want to work with companies that are 50 million and above, or employee size of X. Cool. That's part one. And then we go, all right, great. Example, I want to invite them onto a podcast, or I want to, I'm about to set my sales team loose on these guys. Probably a good idea if I do a little bit more research before I pick up the phone. So AI can do that research for you in seconds. We say, okay, go and tell me about this company. So a whole bunch of straight out of the box AI stuff lives in the back of this, where it says, go and analyze who they are. Tell me about their founders. What awards have they won? How long have they been in business? All that kind of stuff. Like, just go and find out about this particular company. The cool thing about this, so here we go. Here's who they are. They specialize in this. They are interested in, this is what is interesting about their company. They haven't been in any records on how long they've been in business. Here's a couple of achievements. Now, guys, again, in the era of AI, I can use this information to preload chatbots as an example. So I can I've gone, find me all of this kind of company, click, research them all for me, click, dump it into a CRM, click. And now when that company connects with me, my chatbot knows all about them. Oh, you're from Block Prefab. Yeah, congrats on the award that you won last year. Our AI knows who the company is. Have you got the 2-minute? Oh, I've got it. It's my computer, so yeah, I've got it. I'll show. We've got a 2-minute clip where when you can set this up to do two-way enrichment, so I won't get too geeky. But is anybody driving leads at the moment? You guys, have you got ads running? You got leads coming in? Yeah, you're spending money? Okay. This is how to find the customers from scratch, right? These are the people I'm looking for, go get them. But if you've already got leads coming in, what you can also do is plug those into this and let the AI do that research for you. So the lead comes to you from Facebook, as an example, and as soon as they come in, the AI goes, tell me about this person. Where do they work? How long have they worked there? Who are they? What do they post about? What's their social media activity? So I'm enriching that data as it comes in. Now, what does that allow me to do? Be smarter in my marketing in my next step. So now I can take all of that data as it comes in and let AI enrich all of that stuff. I can take all of that data and I can drop it into something simple like ChatGPT. And I can go, these are my customers. Help me get more of them. And the AI goes, cool, well, I can see they're this kind of, this kind of, this kind of. How about you create content that's like this, because it'll speak to them. But you can only do that if you know who they are, right? So AI does all of that kind of cool stuff for you. This is why Johan never lets me have the mic, because I just keep on going.
So we've got people who are who run webinars. After the webinar, the AI is reaching out to that particular person who attended the webinar. Again, I'm going to use you as an example. And it'll say, hey, Johan, how was Rob's event? What did you get from it? I know blah, blah, blah about you. Do you need some help putting his strategies into place? And it's talking to me, about you. The closing rates are going through the roof because everything is personalized to each person. Make sense?
Contacts with, does it have, okay, this is their LinkedIn account, automated, here's an automated connection.
Great question. That's the what happens next piece. So we made a conscious decision as a company that we would gather everything together and then allow the people that do that piece really well to just plug into us. So as an example, Sales Connector going live next week are a LinkedIn automation program. So now I go, I want to speak to CEOs of prefab manufacturing companies that live in Australia and do more than $5 million. Here they are, great, research them. Now connect up my sales connector system and let that program do what it does. So our program does all of the pre-communication piece. There are other programs out there that specialize in send that guy an email, which is high level, or Infusionsoft or HubSpot, or any number of CRM programs. Our system plugs into that. So we go, we will do all that work for you, send it across to that system, because that system is an expert at communication. So that was a decision we made not to do the piece, but we plug into everyone. So via Zapier, we literally plug into everyone, but we plug into HubSpot and Salesforce and Keep and High Level and Sales Connector on the LinkedIn piece, and all that kind of stuff. So cool. So company level, I'm looking for this type of business. Horse level, I'm a horse lover. I want to be. So I don't have a company that's all about horses. I'm a, nurse, but I have a horse. So I want to be able to find that out. In that example, I might look for something using a people search. And this is a great ideal client finder as well. So I'll show you what I mean by that. In the way that this works is I'm going to go something like, what do people talk about on their LinkedIn profile? They talk about what they're proud of, right? So if you look for me, you'll find that I'm an entrepreneur, a software architect, a Taekwondo black belt, and a father of 2. Those are the things I'm proud of. So people talk about what they're proud of. People who have horses and who love horses are going to say things like, I'm a horse lover, right? So I might say, find me people who are horse lovers in Australia. So let's go in Sydney as an example. All right, Sydney. Let's see if we can get a little bit more focused. NSW. All right, there we go. So find me people who are horse lovers. Now, we're using that as an example, horse lovers, but I might say, find me people who are directors, CEOs, builders, whatever it is, something that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a particular kind of person, right? WordPress architect, whatever that might be. I'm putting everybody to sleep. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try and keep this interesting. We can really get granular here. So I can say, find me everybody who has a particular size of company, particular revenue goals. Like, I can really fine tune who I'm looking for, and then go. And even though we might not find everyone that owns horses, we'll find people who are passionate enough about it to put it on their profile. So something in Kirsten's profile will be talking about being a horse lover, right? So we can come in here and find the people who are passionate enough about their interests that way. Or we can find vets, or we can find riding schools, or we can find, all kinds of different methods there. This one, just to give you an example, so this is a live outreach program that we've got running at the moment. We're looking for salespeople in particular locations. So here's Ken. He's a salesperson for Yes Printing. And again, let's have a look at what else we're doing here. In the background, I'm finding out everywhere Ken's worked. I've got all of his contact information, including possible email addresses. I've got company information, and I can let my AI assistant take a spin at it, including write me an introductory paragraph to Kevin about his sales thing and about my tool and how we can work together. I know a picture paints 1,000 words, but your sales record at Yes Printing is worth 1,000 pictures. Your skills in commercial sales and sales ops are renowned in the industry, and that's no understatement. Grab a cup of coffee and let's talk shop. That can then immediately go into an outbound email, and my email is personalized. So it's researched that person, it knows who they are, and every single contact that you're sending out is personalized. I know who you are, I know what you've done. We've actually iterated that prompt even further, which, to get geeky just for a second, you can edit the AI prompts to do anything you want. So you can say, I want to find out about their writing history and what events they've entered and won. Cool. If they've posted anything about that, we'll find it. And you'll be able to reference that in your marketing material. Sweet. So, cool. Just show you 2 more things real quick. I'm sorry, I'm really worried I'm putting you guys. Is this okay? Yeah. Is that all right? All right, cool. All right, cool. Show you 2 more things. Lots to think about. All right, cool. So I'll show you 2 more things. One, for example, anybody know Grant Cardone? Heard the name? All right, Grant Cardone. Okay, cool. So what you can do is reverse engineer. If you can get a LinkedIn profile and drop it into this system, I can get you his cell phone number, personal email account, all of his details and data, everything that he's ever done. So you can do that, I want to speak to that person thing. It's like, I've got that dream person that I want to connect with. If I can get anything about them, I can drop it in here and let the system go to work and, find that information. So that's thing number 1. And this is our our most recent addition is that influencer search. So on an influencer level, now we look for hashtags. Who are they talking to? Who's their audience? What do they speak about? What kind of coverage do they get? You know, we often talk about tier 1 and tier 2 influencers. So it's like, I want to talk to this guy because he's got 7 billion people who he influences. Wait a second. Who does he listen to? So I can go to that second tier and I can go, hang on, he follows that guy. Now that guy might only have 150,000 followers, but the guy I want's one of them. So if I can get that guy on my I can reach my ideal target by going second tier. So our influencer search works across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can search for followers, descriptions, etc. I won't bore you to tears, but the end result of this is some. I'll show you. I'll show you the data. I'll show you the data because this is what everybody's here for.
Type in camping.
Type in camping and find camping influencers for the guys. Yeah, absolutely. So well, you don't know that.
No, sarcastic.
Is that right? Okay. So you can find out things like. Right. Exactly. Well, that's actually great. So let's do it for real. So let's do camping. All right. So we want something there in. Yep. Very cool. So we want to go something like I don't know. What are the camping outdoor life?
Use the word caravanning as well.
Caravanning. All right. Let's see what we can pull back in. All right. And so we can choose followers. We can look for either hashtags or what they put in their bio, what kind of coverage they're getting, who they're working with, like lots and lots of different filters that we can put in place here. For the sake of the exercise, again, I'm just going to go with pretty broad. Let's just go camping influencers in Australia. Put it on here. And let's see what we come back with. So I'll just take those. I might have got my, that's why it put it all in one hashtag. So let me just put caravanning. Yeah, okay. Caravanning. Caravanning. There you go. Let's go. Cool. So Legend Adventures, Ed and Lynn's. Now, these are people that have got caravanning in their bio, in their description, right? So I could look at this particular person and I could say that they have got caravanning. We're a family of 4 sharing our adventures for all to enjoy, getting outdoors and caravanning. There's our keyword. They've got 1,200 followers, all right? So it's not nobody, but it's nobody. But right? In this space, there are nobody. So with caravanning, we've got 1.6. Let me do you actually know the person? That's funny.
We should go camping from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Or it might even be in the hashtag. So camp life, is that a good one? Van life, okay. That's going to turn up a few. Camping's a good one, okay. Or outdoor life. So again, you will know what your people, and if you find one, you can find them quickly anyway. So let's go camping. Let's do Australia again. And you can get even more granular again. If you're doing the 4-wheel drive show in Melbourne, you want to find people in that space. There we go. Let's go. Now we're talking. All right, so 5.8 million followers, 2.1 million followers, 1.6 million followers. These are, so this is working on a hashtag. So Kmart, as an example, have got a heck of a ton of camping hashtags on their content. Wouldn't it? Again, sarcasm? Okay. So this one as an example. So Kmart, you would have never thought to talk to Kmart about doing a deal. But what an amazing thing, because they have a pretty big camping department. And you could reach a whole bunch of people who are interested in that. But this one, for example, 4-wheel drive 24/7, has 900,000 followers on their Instagram channel. Wouldn't you love them to give you a shout out? There you go.
I did.
It's like we get 3 or 4 a week minimum. We get people constantly coming at us.
Delete.
It's too hard. It's actually it's too hard. It's too messy. They want to. It's all complicated. There's no step. But you've just made it so much simpler. And even the one I've done up for ourselves to approach people, it's too complicated. I haven't read through that. I want money up front. I want this after the last event we're at. want money up front, I want a commission of every deal, I want this, I want that. And it's like, hang on, after we get that, I'm going, what we approaching them correctly.
So, but what is it? Yes, have a date first. But again, I'm very biased in this opinion, Healy. But what an amazing person to interview for your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, it's a good channel too.
Right. So now instead of hitting him up for a pitch, let's have a date first.
Yeah.
Hey guys, checked out your channel. You're getting an average of 2.8 thousand likes. I just want to chat to you about camping, about four-wheel drive 24/7. We've got a YouTube channel. Love to interview you. Got 20 minutes next week. Where are you? Great. Got your the Telstra Starlink set up. You know, you ready to rock? Let's jump on a call. So where are you? What are you doing? All that kind of stuff. Give a shout out to their channel because that's what they're in it for, and make them look good. Guess what happens? They just go amazing interview with, and they give you a shot. Right. So, but again, finding the people that you're looking for. Mate, please. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like when you pull a list of, say for example, the mechanics, then you just upload those into a custom audience and warm them up that way.
Perfect. Great way. Yeah, absolutely.
Or a personal email to each one.
Yeah, so you've got to stay compliant with your marketing. Australia's got really weird marketing outreach laws and that kind of stuff, which you need to be aware of. So in its briefest format, technically speaking, you're not allowed to ever email anyone in Australia. But if there's an email address on a website and you email them, well, it's what's called inferred consent. But great point. So get together 1,000, 2,000 ideal clients, put them into a custom audience. Now you're advertising super targeted. There's no laws about.
Give them value.
Give them value. Get them, invite them to a web class. Invite them to give them value. Go.
Prospect Falcon is reaching out to salespeople and saying, hey, you're in sales. We've got a brand new AI tool. It's in beta. Would love for you to come check it out. $50 coupon. Yeah. People are just clicking, coming, watching that video for 3 minutes on the site and signing up.
Yeah. And what about any of the guys and girls here want to use your software? How?
Yeah, come and have a chance with something.
Go to prospectfalcon.com/Greg. We'll set that up.
Okay.
Just give us time. Yeah. So guys, again, that's what we do. We live and breathe the software. We've got some really, really cool stuff coming, some more advanced AI search functionality and that kind of stuff where you literally just be able to talk to it and say, hey, I need 10 more construction companies in Melbourne who are offloading their land or whatever. Go and find them for me. That's what we do. And then the white label piece is we let people brand it.
So it's come a long way since Johan gave me a view of it about 3 years ago, I think. How's it go for B2C?
Yeah.
That's very B2B.
Hence, this man's presentation 10 seconds ago. It's the question that we get asked more often than any other question. How do I reach consumers? So what we teach is stop trying to reach one consumer at a time. That's literally what we teach. You can spend all your marketing budget, all your effort, and all your time trying to reach the next person that's going to buy from you. But you can spend that same amount of marketing money, same amount of effort and time, and reach an influencer or reach someone who benefits from your distribution, and they have the database. Great examples of what we've done. Martial arts studios, right? So martial arts studios, who do they want to speak to? They want, right? They want to speak to the local community. They want to get in front of the local kids in the area. So rather than trying to advertise to the kids in the area, which is expensive, and privacy kicks you in the head as soon as you're trying to go to consumer. Yeah, right. So what we did, right? You're in a world of trouble right away. But who already has that database? The local schools, the pubs. Yeah, right. The local schools, the ballet clubs, the gymnastics clubs, and you do a deal. You go, hey, if we can promote your ballet school, will you give a shout out to our martial arts club? So what we teach is that B2C, especially with privacy laws getting harsher and harsher and harsher, is something that's getting more difficult to get into Mrs. Jones's living room. But Mrs. Jones is the customer of 50 other companies around. And if you can do a deal with them, you can reach Mrs. Jones because she's given that company permission as an opt-in. She's opted into the newsletter, or she's got the kids at the school, or whatever it might be. So we teach, use a B2B tool to create strategic relationships where one can reach many and you multiply. That's what we go for.
So question on that, like for me, I'm working with individual clients wanting to buy investment
Nice.
property. So based on what you're saying, would I be advertising for like mortgage brokers?
Yeah, perfect. And again, that question that I started with was, who benefits from you doing well, Nero?
Yeah.
So answer me that. If you did really super well, who are 3 or 4 businesses that would
Brokers, accountants, SMSF providers.
Amazing. So what about putting on a workshop for SMSF providers, accountants who are desperate for content to push out to their newsletters? How about you give them some? Like, if you can think of who would benefit from you doing well, now you can go, I can reach my key influencers. And that's where it's like, I mean, whatever it is, $1,000 a year for the program itself. You can reach one person who has 200,000 on their database, pushes go and ships you 50 boxes of sunglass frames before you even blink.
I got a story for you. So this guy calls up 21st of December and he says, hey, Johan, it's 8 in the morning, so not a cold call. Hey, Johan, just wanted to say thank you. Can I send you a bottle of champagne for Christmas? Okay, cool, but who are you? He goes, 3 months ago, business was crashing. It was the worst time, but I signed up for your software, and in the last 2 months, on average, I've made $80,000 each month. I said, come on. Going from 0 to 80,000 each month sounds like a bit of a far-fetched thing. I go, how did you do it? He goes, I went into the software, I went into the people search, and I found all the CEOs who invest in property in Mount Martha and Mount Eliza, so that area in Victoria. So now he's got a list of 1,000 CEOs who invest in property in the rich parts of Victoria. Then he went into the company search and he found all the real estate agents who service that area. Then he said to the real estate agents, do you want more leads? I'm a buyer's agent for high net worth individuals. Would you like me to give you some leads? And I don't want commission. I just want $2,000 per person I send you, and I guarantee that they will close. Or I'll keep sending you leads. So it's an irresistible offer, right? So the real estate agents are like, hell yeah, send me the leads. So they put their hand up there on a list saying, send them the thing. Now back to the CEOs. He went to the CEOs and said, hey, Mr. CEO, I know you run XYZ company and that you also invest in property. We've got 3 properties that have a high ROI. Are you interested in checking out the deal? That's it. So out of the 1,400 of them came back and said, yes, I'm interested in checking out the deal. So as soon as they say, I'm interested in checking out the deal, CRMs, automation, it sends a thing going, hey, I'll get those deals organized for you in a second. Just answer these 3 questions. I'm ready to buy now, 3 months, 6 months. I've got 0 to 500, 500 to mil plus, ready to go. Seaside, countryside, or cityside. So they just go click, click, click. Then that gets sent to the real estate agent database saying, his name's James, he's got $1 million, he's looking for a seaside apartment. Do you want the lead? $2,000. So out of those 400, he sold 40 of them at $2,000 a pop, and that's how he made 80 grand.
Just thinking about, like, just that kind of, think about who benefits from it. It's amazing. This one, I don't know, how's that time, Jules?
Yeah,
We've got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Kevin, my favorite testimonial, I've got a folder of them if you saw me open it. My favorite testimonial, because it's so weird. It's like, what do? I sell artisanal barbecue knives. I mean, who doesn't? You know what I mean? Like, really? Of course. Right, probably where he, like, talk about a good model, gets them for free and then just sells them off. But like, so he, 2 for 1. How do we reach B2C? We think about who can increase our distribution, right? Who benefits when I win? If I can increase my distribution, then everybody wins. So Kevin, helping out a friend who sells artisanal barbecue knives. Every knife is handmade. It's a special event. Who buys artisanal barbecue knives? And what he realized, he went through the books and he saw, I noticed 3 very large orders, and turns out it was 3 companies that ordered in batches as corporate gifts. And he went, who else could I approach that would place large orders rather than just 1 knife at a time? Who am I going to approach that are going to do that. So fired it up, grabbed a list of 300 where he reckoned a bunch of dudes would appreciate getting an artisanal barbecue knife as a gift. From the first emails 5 days into the campaign, a new order of 150 units land, which is 3 times their best month ever, and save the company, all that kind of good stuff. So how do you use this tool? You just think about, A, who do I want to reach? Because that's the primary question. Who already has my database, and how can we work together? And that's where we get to. And let AI do the work. Done. Ahead of time?
Round of applause for that.